We did it. We defeated EA. I don't know how gamers did it, but we band together, and at least for now, we defeated EA. And it's crazy to think about. After reading the articles yesterday about all the news coming out about EA removing their microtransactions from Battlefront 2, it made me super happy to see that as gamers we came together and we kind of took down a giant and their shady business practices. So as you know, yesterday they came out and talked about how they were removing all of their microtransactions from Battlefront 2, at least for right now, and they will be coming back in the future, so we still need to be wary of what they're going to do when they put them back in the game in the future. But it's awesome that we came together in a very non-angry, non-violent way. We came together, voiced our opinion, talked about how discontent we were with these shady business practices, talked about how we knew what they were trying to do, and that we don't want to buy a game that was pay to win. And it got so much bad press, so many terrible reviews, and EA came out and removed them all. It's crazy to think about. For a while now, we've been clamoring as gamers that we really dislike microtransactions, or at least some of us have, a more large majority of us have, talking about how they ruin multiplayer games and it ruins an overall experience of an entire game, knowing that you have to pay to really experience the entire thing that you've already paid a full retail price for. So this happening is completely awesome. But my next question that EA has actually done this is, I wonder if it will really decrease the amount of damage that they've already done. Because I know for me personally, before this came out, I canceled my pre-order. And I had pre-ordered the game right after E3. I had already saved $30 on the game. But I canceled it because I wanted nothing to do with EA. I wanted nothing to do with Battlefront 2. And I was really enjoying Call of Duty World War II right now as a first-person shooter. And if I wanted to take a little break from Call of Duty World War II, I would just jump onto Halo 5 or something. And I didn't need another shooter in my life, to be completely honest. But for people that canceled the pre-order because they were only upset with Battlefront 2, and it was a game that they've been waiting for so long, and now they're deciding not to get it, I wonder if those people will get back on board with the game. Because for looking at the multiplayer, there really isn't a lot of progression system in there. I mean, there was the loot crate stuff, and then there was upgrading your hero's powers with the star cards and all that stuff. And right now, I'm not sure. I haven't played the game. If someone has played the game, let me know in the comments below. But do you upgrade by levels? Like, what is the progression system? What is the incentive to continuously play games online in Battlefront 2? And from what I've been hearing from the reviews, the single player campaign isn't that great and it's relatively short. So if you were looking for getting Battlefront 2 just for that, you will probably be pretty disappointed. So I don't know how much this will save the game, but I do know if they wouldn't have tried doing these shady business practices from the get-go, they would have sold a lot more copies than I think they're going to sell, even after removing the microtransactions. Now, getting away from Battlefront 2 a little bit, I think that this will have a massive impact on the gaming industry, or at least I hope it will, for future games coming out, and for games like Call of Duty World War II who haven't released their COD credits yet, and haven't really released you being able to buy loot boxes. People were upset because you had to pay lots of money to become good at multiplayer, or to have the most powerful hero, or have the most powerful player in multiplayer. And you have a game like Call of Duty World War II that just came out, and that's not there at all. Everything is unlocked through playing the game. Everyone's on an equal playing ground. Right now, you can't spend any more money to upgrade your character, to get better guns, but they are coming out with loot crates that you can pay money for. And in these loot crates, we don't really know what will be in them, other than you'll get a better chance of getting more rare cosmetic stuff. And apparently there was guns in the old files of Call of Duty World War II that they haven't released yet, and I'm just really hoping that these aren't in loot crates, so that you won't be paying to get better guns in Call of Duty World War II, because if they do that, that will completely ruin the game for me, and it will just show that these companies aren't taking notice of what's going on, and they're not learning from other companies' mistakes. I think if Call of Duty and Activision were to do that, I think they would get a huge backlash as well. There would be a lot of people complaining, but at the end of the day, since Activision has already sold so many games, they can really do whatever they want, because their install base is already there. People have already purchased the game, and if they want to put crazy microtransactions and use these shady business practices, they really couldn't. They could get away with it because they've pretty much already made their money back, and they know that people will still buy these microtransactions. So hopefully they're learning from their past mistakes though, and they're learning from EA's mistakes, and they don't really want to piss off fans anymore, because at the end of the day, the fans are still the future of the company, and they need those fans to buy future games. So hopefully they don't do that, but we will see. Overall though, I hope other games that come out in the future that haven't been released yet, that will have microtransactions, learn from this and don't use these shady business practices that EA was trying to do. On top of that, the worst part about it all is EA was coming out trying to act all innocent, especially with their Reddit posts, that they were just trying to give the player the best experience, and they weren't trying to rip them off. But obviously they knew exactly what they were doing before they implemented these microtransactions, which led to all of the backlash and all the backlash that they rightfully deserved. Now, like I said earlier in the video, EA will be releasing these microtransactions back into the game, and so this may not be the end of this story. They could, well, I'm assuming that they will release them. They'll probably release them to have things just like cosmetic items, or you would not really be able to upgrade your character fast or really get a huge advantage through buying loot crates with Battlefront 2. And if they do that, that's okay. If people want to spend their money on loot crates to buy cosmetics for characters or for their players in games, I have absolutely no problem with that. That doesn't affect the game, doesn't bother me at all. If you want to spend more money on the game because you love it so much, that's cool. I mean, who cares about that? But if you're spending money, or if you're allowed to spend money to affect the way that a multiplayer game plays out, to me that just completely takes away the point of playing the game. Because not everybody is on an even playing field. A lot of people can't afford to spend money on these loot crates. A lot of people get 1 game a year or 2 games a year, and it's the only game they look forward to all year. And the fact that it has to be ruined by people spending all this money on loot crates to get better weapons and get more powers is absolutely absurd. So I won't buy, or I won't play any games that have these items in it. I can't say I won't buy, because I did buy Call of Duty World War II, and who knows what they're going to do with their loot crates when they come out, and they may do stuff like that. And I've already purchased the game, so I'm shit out of luck. Anyways, at the end of the day, I'm just super happy that this happened, that we banded together, made this happen, and that they've taken it out of the game. And hopefully when they return back into the game, they won't have any shady business practices with it, or they won't try to gyp you of your money and make these loot crates that ruin the game. That's just hoping, but who knows with EA. Who knows that companies like EA and Activision, all these massive companies. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How excited are you that this occurred? If you canceled your pre-order, you can go pick it up now. And is it okay to you if they put these transactions back in the game in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and hit that sub button if you want more content.